Didn't he look fine in church today? In his buckled boots, in his fustian coat, and his feathers blue and grey.
So what is it about folk music that you really love?
I think I love... that's a kind of a loaded question in a way, because when you say folk music, a lot of people think of finger in your ear, sort of folk club style music. I was actually brought up through pop music, really. But I've always... one of the probably the biggest influences on me as a writer was Bob Dylan, as many people. And it was that liberation of the song. I think, I didn't understand it when I was young. I was very young when I first heard him. I didn't really understand it. It was just a sort of smack in the eye for me, But I understood that you could actually tell stories in songs,
Some game left his father to take the blame to jail. One day the landlord's bird he blew. Landlord cried, Dick, I know you. And again the drunk his pistol drew, saying, let me charge and I'll shoot you too.
What I've done is I think I've come full circle now, and I'm now doing the kind of songs that I always really wanted to do, which were not songs for Simon Cowell, or they're songs for people, and they're songs about people. And
Lizzie's dreams of home gave way. Cold nights in the forest gave to a husband who she couldn't keep, who killed his friend and run away.
I've heard that you played at the Royal Albert Hall, and I mean, I've been there as part of Elijah, and I've stood in the middle of the hall, and it took my breath away, and that was when it was empty, and yet you've played there for the Teenage Cancer Week to over 5,000 people. How was that?
It was stunning. It's always been a lifelong ambition of mine. My grandparents were opera singers, and my grandmother always used to say, one day you'll play at the Albert Hall, and I said, yeah. Or when I was really young, it was, yeah, of course I will, and then you start to think, will I? Is it likely? And the Albert Hall has always been it's been a kind of a holy grail for me, because I think it's such a special place. And when I go to concerts there, it's one of the few venues you go to and you actually, I don't know if you noticed it when you were there, but you actually feel there's a real atmosphere of sort of greatness about that place, and it's such a beautiful building and all that, and it's so beautifully lit. And so when I was finally asked to do it, I'd always promised myself that if I ever got a chance to play the Albert Hall, I would do it on my own for my grandmother, and that was the chance I got.
So Mike Harding introduced you onto the stage for part of your TCT concert, and you're also on his folk music show on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. How did that come about?
Well, Mike heard my CD and really liked it and started to play it. He particularly liked two songs, which were Lizzie Loved a Highwayman, which I played on Radio Lincoln earlier, and Jesus Wept, a song about the First World War soldier Harry Farr. And Mike became a huge fan, and then he asked, when he found out I was doing a show, he insisted on he was the MC for the show, so he insisted on doing this magnificent introduction, which was again, if you're going to go on the Albert Hall, it helps to be introduced as one of the finest singer-songwriters this country's ever produced. So it was fantastic. I was really knocked out by it.